My children are very happy to play with their brand new sand table. Keep watching and I'll show you how to make one. Hello YouTube. So my children are at the age where they like to play in the sand, and basically they've been playing in the dirt in my yard instead of a sandbox. But I don't like sandboxes. Ants get in them, earwigs get in them, wasps can nest in them, problems with spiders. Really, if you're a concerned parent, you might be a little worried about your children playing in a sandbox. So I started looking and researching into sand tables, which are nice. They're elevated. You can find them online between, $30 and $100, depending on how big you want them. And they're blast molded plastic. They look great. But I thought, for the price, you have to go really expensive to get something that would fit two boys. My boys are at 2 and 4 right now, and they like the dirt, and they have a lot of tractor toys, and I just didn't see all that fitting in it. So what we're going to do today, you can see my supplies on the ground. I'm going to make my own sand table, and we're going to use the PCP pipe. We're going to use a nice storage bin that I found at Lowe's there that will drop right into the frame, and then we're going to put some sand in it. Additionally, we have a lid now for this, which will hopefully keep out any other flying insects or ants that might try to crawl up the frame and get inside of it. Let's put it together. Alright, I'm not an engineer, so I really haven't planned this out too much. We're just going to play it by ear. I measured the length of my box, and I decided I want these to be about 34 inches long. So I'm going to make my first cut at 34 inches long. However, I do have a problem because I'm not going to keep this one long piece, and my couplings will, of course, stretch this out a little bit. So we're going to make some adjustment cuts as we go. Hopefully we're going to make this a 6 legs so I have support on all 4 corners of the box and in the center. Make your cuts using a pipe cutting tool, the safest way to do it. There's a couple varieties of these. This one I think is the fastest to use. It just cuts right through instead of having to use the other one that spins around the pipe. So line it up on your measurement mark and squeeze. And that extra length there, I'm going to go ahead and use as the legs for this table. We had a cold front go through, so I'm going to be gluing inside today to maintain the temperatures I need. I put down some black plastic so I don't harm my wife's floors. Start with using your primer. Apply your primer onto your pipe and let it dry. Primer should only take about a minute to dry, and the glue will only take about a minute to set. Okay, so put the glue on the end of your pipes and then slide it on in. Give it just about a minute to set. Now with that coupling in there, that's just going to be a new length. So we're going to remeasure and trim at the ends as we need to trim so it fits smugly around that box. Another option before gluing is to cut all your pieces out and just put them together to make sure everything is where you need to be before you put on the final glue. Okay, so I've had to trim the depth pipes there just because with my couplings they end up becoming a little bit too long. As you can see on this side, we're a little overexposed. And when this is all done, we want this frame to come up real nice and snug against the lip of this box for support. Luckily, I haven't glued everything yet, so we can still pull this apart and trim. So let's flip this box over so we can set our frame down on where it needs to be. Take our marker and find out where we want to trim this. Keep in mind your coupling is going to go over by just a little bit. So that mark lines up with the box, but it's not where we want to cut. Coupling's going about 9/10 of an inch. So let's go ahead and mark at almost about an inch there. And with the new cuts made, we're going to slide back on this end and see how it fits. Alright, there it is, everything glued together. Now I need to do is pour in the sand. Okay, one last step, just in case my kids want to put water in this thing and play with water and sand. We're going to put in a plug. Alright, the drain plug's in. So now you can start filling it up with sand. And you'll have the convenient lid to keep the bugs out. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Or if you find your PVC frame too flimsy, you can make one out of wood. Or maybe just take the nice bin you bought to hold the sand and put it on your picnic table or on the ground. You still get the benefit of having the lid and keeping the bugs out of it. You also get the benefit of keeping your kids from sitting in it and creating a giant mess on their clothes. Now they can just reach in it and play with it while having a seat.